So I have been feeling kinda low lately. Not only with my energy, but also in my creativity. To the point where I don't know anymore why I should keep creating, because everything I paint is garbage and everyone around me is so much younger, more talented and better than me. If you know this feeling, this video is for you. I've been feeling like this for the longest time. Even though I know better than to listen to my inner critique, I can't help but believe it sometimes. It's easy to give in, to just give up. It's the easiest solution. If I'm not good enough, why not just stop trying, stop bothering at all? But if we give up now, we will never have a chance to ever become good enough. And who said that we are not good enough to begin with? Never ever has it happened to me that somebody else said, "Well, this looks like garbage, my girl. You better burn that page now." And never ever would I say that to anyone else. Yet my brain sometimes talks to me like that, 24/7. But why? Because in my brain I have this ideal image of how this art piece could come out, how my mind expects it to look at the end. But what we imagine in our heads is only our endless potential. This has nothing to do with reality. In reality, sometimes you don't feel your best, make not great creative choices, or simply lack the knowledge to be able to feel this drawing's potential. That's why, even if it looks good in the end, if the artwork does not turn out like your mind intended it to be, but worse, your inner critique has all it needs to make you doubt your skill set and competence as an artist. So it's our expectations that are getting in our way of just enjoying art, not our art itself. I repeat, there is nothing wrong with you or with your art. It's your high expectations that transform something so beautiful as creating in something as ugly as an unspoken competition about aesthetics. When I was currently painting something with the intent of posting it and making a video about it, I struggled so hard to finish the piece because it looked, in my opinion, hideous. There was no way that I could publish that. It's basically the worst. What would people say? I should just rip this page out for no one else to see it, ever. These were my thought patterns during and even after painting. This bad art could have taught me a lot of lessons if I cared to acknowledge all the things I didn't like and the reasons why. But instead of looking at it from an objective point of view, I was so obsessed with the looks of it that I couldn't see past all its flaws and was just trapped in my anger and frustration and disappointment in myself and the painting. And this not only happens to my art. Sometimes when I look at myself or when I look at my life as well, I get lost in little details that don't line up and frustrate me. I can't see the big picture of all the great things that make everything so wonderful. I can't see how privileged and blessed I am to live freely and happy and independent in this safe country and grateful to call my home. So whenever I notice my spiraling thought patterns, I need to get a new perspective. Outside of my little apartment, outside of these four walls, outside of my head and my thoughts, and into nature. I walk it off. With a tickling breeze on my cheeks and a water bottle in my hand, I've already solved 1 or 2 life disasters my mind made up. It made me realize that there's nothing better than walking away from all that bothers me to realize how tiny my problems are. And when you get back to the table with fresh air in your lungs, happy and energized again, it's not so bad after all. Please tell me if you know a different or even better way for yourself to bring everything back into perspective. But in my opinion, I think a good walk has the potential to change your whole day, maybe even whole life. It always kickstarts my creativity again and makes me think outside the box. And my last walk made me realize, of course I had to burn out. because I haven't been on a good walk for a while, or played my favorite games, or read a good book, or tried something new in my art journal. For the past 2 weeks, all I thought about and all I worried about was work, and if it was good enough. But even if you're the most productive person in the world, pure productivity is not healthy if it's not in balance. Because we often feel tired, not because we have done too much, but because we have done too little of what sparks a light in us. In my case, I didn't experiment enough with my creativity. In my sketchbook, the very place where I should just let everything go and play with different mediums in my art, I just painted the same way, week in and week out, because I was afraid of messing up when trying something different. And yet, this did not make me happy. It made just everything worse. I realized even though I enjoyed pushing my limits with my painting skills and loved to work with gouache, I really needed some variety to stay creative and don't burn out. Even though I wanted to focus all my energy on learning to paint the right way, not painting once in a while, but sketching or doodling seems to be the much more appropriate way of treating my creativity. This does not mean that you have to go outside of your comfort zone. It's actually quite the opposite. If you feel stuck with your art, go back to the things that are easy and enjoyable for you to create. Personally, I love sketching and scribbling if I have to wind down a little. As a teenager, I used to do this all the time because it's so relaxing and can be done mindlessly. This is what I did when I was bored in class, or had time to kill, or just did not want to think too much about what I'm going to draw. And now I did it again, just to enjoy art for a little while, without being afraid of the end result. Because when doodling or scribbling, the only intention is to fill the given space, no matter how, and no matter how it looks at the end. I did not want it to create a masterpiece. I just wanted to fill a sketchbook spread and be creative again with minimal effort. Yes, I had a little help of past me that already put down the paint on the paper because somehow I knew this would happen. I knew I would have a day when I would feel uninspired and a blank page would scare me away. Because we are not art-producing machines, we are only human. We go through phases of bubbling inspiration and of idea vacuums. Just as in nature, where everything comes full circle, we have to accept that there will be days where we won't feel like painting, and that's okay. Maybe you can help your future self a little. Write down easy art ideas for days when you feel lazy, or start a painting on a random page in a sketchbook for a future you to finish it. Because honestly, I feel so intimidated by the blank page. But if there's already color on the page, there's something I can work with. A quote, a color, a word written out can sometimes be enough. This way I can start creating within minutes instead of procrastinating about it for months. And even if you have to take a little break and stop creating for a while, that's okay. After all, you're still an artist, even if creating gets hard sometimes. You are not alone and you did nothing wrong. Sometimes life just happens. We are only humans. We get stressed, we get ill, we have other responsibilities, and sometimes we just forget what we really love to do, and that's normal. Sometimes you just have to let life happen. Your creativity is nothing you can lose just because you stop creating for a while. It's a part of you and will forever be a part of you for the rest of your life. So if you only remember one thing about this whole video, then please remember to be kind to yourself. Mind your thoughts, mind your actions, mind your intentions. Be mindful of the things you do and the impact they have on your life. If you once loved creating and now have to force yourself to stand up and draw, then something is wrong here. And it's okay to take a step back and look at it from a safe distance. Take your time to analyze the situation and get a new perspective. Maybe then you can see that life is more than just perfect artwork after artwork in your sketchbook. Life is full of things that can bring you joy outside of the wrong promises of perfection in everything you do. It's about balance, working and not working. Maybe after cooking a little, eating a little, walking a little, singing and dancing a little. Maybe after living your life a little, your soul will be at peace again, and then it will whisper, I'm ready to try again. And with these wise words, I thank you for making it this far into the video. If you liked it, please consider sharing it with someone who needs to hear this. Save it for later or just give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Don't miss my next video by subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching and listening, and until next time, keep drawing.